Real Lifestyle Morning Crew. You know, I don't know if we want to call ourselves the morning crew anymore because we just kind of mosey on in and do what we do. But it is still morning time, so it is the morning because I feel like no matter what, we're up. So we want to wake you guys up. You're watching LRTV on YouTube. Make sure you subscribe if you have not already. We haven't been on air for a while, but we're back. We took a little hiatus, just a little quick break. You know, sometimes we have to take a moment to ourselves for mental health, you know, other things that we may be working on. I was working a job.
Did you like it?
I had a whole job for a minute.
Had you
I
busy?
did. I enjoyed the job. In case you haven't heard, I don't work there anymore. So I was hired and I worked for Pepsi for a short period of time. That only lasted for a short period of time. I was fired, but it was kind of by default. You know, I didn't mean to get fired. I was really trying my hardest in that job. So, you know, that can be our question of the day. Have you ever been fired? And what was it for? Like, let us know in the comments. We want you guys to tap in, and we're going to talk about that more in the tap in section. But yeah, you know, let us know if you've ever been fired before. But in the time that we've been gone in our absence, there's been a lot that went on in the headlines and a lot going on in the news. Everybody knows that the strike happened. That's been big news here locally, but also it's actually been in the national news all over. The UAW is the union, and obviously the union goes, you know, nationwide. So it's been affecting people who work in the auto industry and actually affecting the whole economy because, you know, people are out of work, you know, and what's crazy is the utility bills are rising. We talked about that. So it's just a lot going on. We're going to talk about all that. The weather has been kind of fair. The last few days it's been real sunny, but today it's kind of chilly and gloomy.
The past couple of days been a little cool.
Well, yeah. Well, I guess I should say maybe like over the weekend. Like the weekend was pretty. It was a pretty nice weekend. You're right. The last couple of days has been real chilly. It got gloomy again. It's been chilly. So I don't know. It's looked like, you know, we're definitely going to be getting ready for winter to come, and I've been hearing that we're supposed to have a pretty rigid winter this winter.
Really?
Yeah. You know, we've been lucky the last few winters because the last couple winters have been pretty mild. So they're saying that this
not too much snow or nothing.
Yeah, we haven't had a lot of snow. It's been pretty dry. The temperatures have been fair, but they're saying that this year it's going to get it's going to get pretty cold, so we'll see. I don't know. I mean, I'm pretty much used to it. You know, we grew up around here, so at the end of the day, you know.
True Ohioan.
Yeah, we're true Ohioans. Like, I was born in Michigan, raised in Ohio, so at the end of the day, if you're from here, you're used to this. So, the UAW, like I said, they've been striking. The big three automakers, Ford, Stellantis, which is like Chrysler too, I believe, and then there's GM, and they were all on strike. You know, they feel like their wages, they weren't getting fair wages. They feel like, you know, they want better benefits.
They won their strike though, didn't they?
Yeah, so they had been on strike for the last, I would say it's been probably about a month. It seems like
6 to 8 weeks.
6 to 8 weeks, and they just recently had got. Let me pull up. They just recently came to a deal. So just recently it's been all in the news. Actually, it was on NBC News. It's been on TMZ. It's been on the UAW website. It's saying that they reach a tentative contract. So actually GM, Ford, and Chrysler, they were all kind of like allies, and they were basically, you know, all as a union sticking together saying, you know, we want what we want. We're going to stick to, we're going to fight. We're going to fight it out and, you know, strike until we get what we want. But then there was talks that Ford was, you know, coming to a place where they were like, okay,
we're ready to go back to work.
We're ready to go back to work. We're going to go ahead and take what's on the table, because after they had went back and forth, you know, obviously they had went back and forth through negotiations for a while. So after some negotiations, Ford kind of was finally like, all right, you know, we're going to take what's on the table.
They settled that 40 tap out.
Yes. And I'm not exactly sure. That's why, you know, me and Tiaja, we talked about it. We actually want to get some some auto workers in here to sit down and, you know, really kind of unpack it for us and give us the real info and the real facts and tell us kind of like what you guys were experiencing as auto workers in that industry beforehand, what made you guys want to strike, and now what has happened. So, you know, if you're out there and you're an auto worker and you guys want to come on the show and sit down and talk to us about the strike and about, you know, the new contracts and about what's going on and how it affected your life and your community and your family, we definitely want to hear your story.
Why everybody so mad they got their raise?
Why, people are mad?
Yeah,
that's so crazy because, like,
I see a lot of nurses that are comparing their job to factory workers, and I don't know why they just compare themselves to everybody. Yeah. Why do nurses feel like they're supposed to be the highest paid people in the room? Why are y'all so mad that factory workers making more than y'all?
Yeah. I don't know.
How you feel?
It has become like a real big debate. Like,
why all the nurses comment on it?
I know that was a big thing on social media. And I kind of see both sides of it because I know, like, I know nurses and then I also know factory workers. And
yeah, but why are they comparing themselves? Those are not similar jobs.
Don't know. I think it's just because they feel like, you know, what I've seen, and this is just what I've seen. I don't, you know, listen, I'm partial. I don't take any you know, any way on it, but I know that what I've seen in the arguments is that, you know, one side is kind of saying healthcare workers don't even make this amount of money that you guys are asking for. Hold on, just let me finish. So what I see on one side of it is one side is saying healthcare workers don't even make this amount of money. You guys are basically fighting, you know, for an amount of money, and people who save people's lives don't even make this amount of money. Yet on the flip side, they're saying, you know, okay, that's your fault.
Are hospitals grossing billions of dollars a year?
Oh, yeah.
No.
Oh, actually, yes, they are.
No.
Oh, yeah, they are.
I don't know one nurse who can save 100 lives in one night. Factory workers go to work and build hundreds of cars in one day.
I mean, why
are we comparing a factory worker to a nurse?
They're not. They're two things. It's like apple and oranges. They shouldn't be compared, you know.
Why
but it's a crazy thing because some people feel like, you know, auto workers don't deserve this, and I mean, who are you to tell someone what they do and don't deserve for what type of work they put in?
Who are you to tell me I deserve to make more money than you?
Yeah, that's crazy. So that's an argument a lot of people have.
So people looking at us like they don't deserve that. I went to college.
Yeah. It's crazy. Yeah. And it's funny because, like, I went to college, but it's like I don't feel that way. You know what I'm saying? Like, there's a lot of people who have college degrees that feel like, oh, they shouldn't be getting this and this and that. No, like, there's a lot of people who've worked in that industry and they've worked many years. They've worked hard. They've worked countless hours. They've sacrificed their time. When I say my clients
from factories really come into the shop holding their back, limping over,
like, it's real strange,
exhausted.
And
my nurse clients,
it's a very dangerous job.
Chilling.
And it's a very dangerous job.
It's a very dangerous job.
Yeah. I don't want to take away from either because I know many nurses who work hard and they're not chilling. Like they come in back breaking, like they're in pain, you know, like, so it's on both sides work very hard, but it shouldn't be compared. Like, it's something that
I don't see people making a certain amount of money be like, maybe I need a raise.
Yeah.
That don't have nothing to do with the nurses.
And what people are saying, like I said, on one side of it, you know, on the other side of it, a lot of the auto workers are saying that's your guys' fault as healthcare workers. Why don't y'all strike?
Yeah.
Y'all should have been stroked.
We just went almost 2 months without no pay.
Exactly. And so and what I've seen also even more specifically is a lot of the people are saying, like, especially ProMedica, you guys, ProMedica workers, y'all should have been went on strike, because from what I hear, and I don't know, listen, don't kill the messenger. I'm just going off of what I've seen on social media, what I hear from a lot of ProMedica employees, and what I've seen and heard. And so what they say is that ProMedica, you know, ProMedica is making a $1 billion company, and they're not good to their employees. Like, the employees are not getting good benefits. They're not seeing the wages that they should see. The cost of living is rising, but the wages aren't rising. So they're saying, these auto workers are like, instead of y'all being mad at us and trying to compare, why don't y'all go on strike? Like, that's the only way you're going to see change.
It's like, you want me to make less because you're not making what you want to make?
And that's crazy. That's crazy. And you got to think, too. You got to think this is not.
When the strike was over and they, you know, came to a resolution or whatever, you know how many people in the shop was mad?
That's so crazy.
I was so confused.
I don't get that because they're
going
to
affect our pockets. It don't affect our taxes.
The crazy thing about it is it's going to affect our economy in a great way. It is going to affect our pockets.
Amazing way.
It's going to affect our economy in a very positive way, and it's going to affect all of our pockets in a positive way.
People don't want others to make more money.
Yeah,
than
that's
them.
crazy. I mean, that's really sad that it's become a conversation and an argument of like who and what should deserve more and what. Like, who are you to think that someone doesn't deserve what they feel they deserve? You know what I mean?
You don't even know what you deserve.
Yeah, so that's a crazy situation. So I was looking at some of the stories. I was going to some of the news outlets just to kind of get like some facts, and it was reported on NBC News that GM and UAW reached a tentative deal that's expected to end the strike just days after similar pacts were made with Ford and Stellantis. So like I said, Ford and Stellantis had basically decided like, okay, enough is enough. We've been out of work long enough. It's time for us to go back. We feel like what they have on the table is fair. We're going to go ahead and send our workers back to work. But GM was still basically trying to, they were still saying
wanted more.
Yeah, they wanted more.
Wow.
They were saying this isn't good enough. And I think
because I know that some people like, okay, say you already making $36 an hour. That means your tap out is $40. So the farthest you can go is $4 more. So I think some people are pushing for $48. I think it was close to 50.
Yeah, I'm not sure exactly the exact number, so I don't want to speak on it. Exact. Like I said, I really want to sit down with some of the workers, and really know, like, some of the union members and really find out, like, what were the facts? Like, what were you guys making before that you felt wasn't good enough? What caused you to feel like, yeah, let's finally just say, I mean, because you got to think, too, this happened right before holidays, were coming.
Thanksgiving,
and they
Christmas.
they literally, like, were willing to, risk their livelihood. So it makes me wonder, what was it that, what became the icing on the cake that they said, okay, no, we're going to strike now.
The icing on the cake is when you drive through Chick-fil-A and it say they hiring for $15 an hour. They pay for your college.
Right. Yeah, you're right.
You get benefits.
You're absolutely
you get
right, Tiaja.
Everything just started to make a lot of sense. They like, I'm building cars for $20.
Yeah, and it's a dangerous job, for
$1 less, I could be.
It's dangerous job. It's a strenuous job,
I think they deserve the $40. I think it's going to be a good thing for the whole community.
Yeah, I absolutely do. I agree. I feel they deserve it, and I feel like it's going to be great for
even if they didn't deserve
the economy.
It's not our money.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So, that's just like, I mean, you got to think that just goes back to like a small town. It just goes back to that small town thinking, because you think back even to like COVID and when people were getting PPP money and, SBA money and I mean, people were up in arms about that. Like there were some people who felt like people should not be getting this money. Well, you've seen all the memes, all the jokes, everybody had something to say. And it was just like, and then I seen, a lot of other people like, saying the percentage and population of people who did get it were like, why are y'all so mad? Like, do y'all not understand that this is like how a lot of the rich people got rich from doing these, from these sort of things?
It was made for us to do that.
Yeah,
but I think some of the wrong people got a hold of that information and just did a lot.
Yeah. It was. So. But it's just sad because, like you said, it comes down to the fact that like a lot of people just don't want to see other people doing better than them. It's like a certain people like who just don't want to see other people doing better than them, and they try to like hide the info or hide the knowledge or or when people do.
When it's like it's not your money.
It's like it's how
people would rather do a loan for $200,000 and keep letting everybody borrow $200, $300, $1,000 instead of telling people where to go to get the money.
All right. Yeah. So, I definitely congratulate the UAW for being strong and sticking it out. They
but what I
strike.
did
they
hear
fought a good fight.
A lot of people, if so all the PTO, I don't know, all the part-time people did get hired in. That's what they were fighting for.
Oh, okay.
But they don't have room for them. So
are you talking about like the
temps?
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
So a lot of those, a part of they strike or whatever it's called was to get them full-time. Some people been part-time for 7 years.
Yeah, I have a cousin that we were just actually talking about that because that's what she was saying, and that's what she was hoping for, you know, and to be able to like get put into full-time status.
But they don't have room for them. So if you want to be hired in and, you know, get the benefits, you have to go to Chicago.
Wow.
You have to move to Illinois, Michigan. It's always a catch.
Yeah.
So they did win, but they don't have room for them.
Right. That's crazy.
Mm-hmm.
So they're going to have to, I mean, I guess Michigan isn't too far if you live in Ohio. I mean, it's not, you know, that's not bad to have to go to Michigan. But then again, if like, you know, if you're parents, and especially if you're single parents and you have kids and they're in school, and, you know, you can't just uproot your life and even move, you know, a state away, you know, because it's just not easy like that to just get up and uproot your life and, you know, have to.
And then it's like, okay, y'all making more money, but y'all have to go to states that the cost of living is higher. So it's kind of like,
yeah,
it's always something.
Yep, it's always something, because you go to another state, like you said, where Chicago, where and that might not be far, but it, you know, the market is much different than what it is here. So
the rent higher,
the rent is going to be higher, the cost of living is higher, everything's going to be higher.
You paying for parking, it's just different.
And your wage increase isn't enough to cover that, you know. So that's, yeah, you're right. That's something that's going to cause still a lot of issues, because like you said, even though the contracts went through, now you have this issue, you know, where what do we do with the people?
Yeah, if we have 300 people that's part-time and we hire y'all all in.
I also wonder if they did that in, you know, like maybe they know as a corporation, like how many people, you got to think of all the people that are going out each year in retirement, you know what I'm saying? So it could maybe, and I don't know, because like I said, I don't know the facts of these contracts and what happened, but maybe they mapped it out to where the retirees, you know, they're gonna put people in full-time status as retirees go out, you know. I don't know.
That makes sense.
I don't know. You know,
and
that's
then
we need to get y'all workers
you know, the
in here.
retirement age, the Social Security age, all that has gotten raised.
Yeah, and the scary part about it is they're saying that, you know, within the next 15 years there's going to be no Social Security.
There's not going to be. But like, you want to know what's so crazy? I remember learning this in high school, and they was basically telling us, like, the way the money looking when y'all retire, there's not going to be any money left for y'all.
Like there's no, like even people who put in money to 401ks
there's like, there's not going to be any money left for y'all.
It's going to be like
And
gone.
I did not know they was telling the truth.
Yeah, that's a scary thought.
I did not know they was for real when they said that.
That's a real scary thought.
They said every 2 years it go up by 3 years? Every 2 years the age go up by 2 or 3 years. So right now it's 62 to retire, which means next year is going to be 65.
Yeah.
Year after that's going to be 68. Then the year after that
it's going to be death.
Yeah.
You literally going to be working until you die.
So we really need,
and that's why
you guys need to invest and become sponsors and make sure you're making smart decisions with your money, because if you don't, you're going to feel the wrath.
You definitely need to like be very up on like financial literacy now. Like if you're not up on making sure your credit is in order, making sure you're financially literate,
you need to get cool with a grant writer.
Yeah, seriously. Good money management skills, like she said, being connected and affiliated with the right people, grant writers, a right, you know, a good CPA, a good attorney, you know, a good pastor.
Yeah, amen.
You know, you need to be connected and you need to be affiliated to the right people. But the funny thing about it is, and we talk about this all the time, is alignment. And as you're moving in purpose and you know, if you're walking in purpose and trying to, like, you know, be the best person that God put you here to be, and if you believe in God, and if you want to, you know, be whoever it is that he's called you to be, once you start doing that and doing what he told you to do and being obedient, like, you'll see how things begin to fall in place.
Literally fall into place.
And he'll give you the resources that you need, the people that you need,
the help,
you know, the support, the help. So it really
He'll give you the village.
Yep.
Yeah.
He'll give you the vision. He'll give you the village, and then really it's up to us.
He'll even give you the idea.
Yep, the vision.
Yeah.
He gives you the vision. Yeah. We gotta have the faith and believe that, you know, what he's told us is you know, is gonna come true, and then we have to put the work in it. You know, we gotta put the work in it. So yeah. But, you know, some sad news that has happened in the entertainment world is that Matthew Perry died. Matthew Perry, big Friends star, you remember the big Friends star? Yeah. He actually died. And what's so crazy, and that's actually.
Oh, he died?
Yes, girl.
Oh, my God.
It's so sad, right? Because he was one of
the scene.
Yes, one of the Friends. He was one of the Friends stars. Everybody, you know who Matthew Perry is. And so, yes, he was actually found in a jacuzzi, girl. Yes.
That's a good way to go.
Yeah. I mean, you know, like.
It don't get no better than that. He probably was high as hell.
Oh, man.
Ain't that how Whitney Houston passed away?
I mean,
no, she was in a hot tub. No,
she was in a bathtub. Yeah. She was in a tub.
It's something about relaxing. Like, certain deaths, I feel like people are, like, preparing themselves for.
So more details, you know, I'm going to say shout out to TMZ. Like, TMZ is definitely my go-to for, you know, entertainment news, any type of news. They be having all the exclusives.
Wow,
so I'm definitely getting
crazy.
this story from TMZ News, TMZ.com. But it says that more details are surfacing about the circumstances of his death. And it says that he basically died in his own home after what is, quote unquote, some physical activity. So he was found in the hot tub after some physical activity. It says that he came home sometime in the AM after a 2-hour round of pickleball. They said he used to play pickleball because they said that was what he used, like, for his healing journey. Like, as he was going on his healing journey and trying to, you know, like, worry about his own mental health and stuff, he started playing pickleball, and that was what would kind of, like, be his therapy. But he came back from playing pickleball, and they said that when his assistant returned a couple hours later, he found Matthew unresponsive and called 911. So they said it's unclear that what he was doing before he passed, and if it even played a role in the death or whatever. They don't know exactly what he was doing like that minute before, but they said that he was found in a jacuzzi. It says that sources close to the actor said that it appears that he had drowned. So they were saying that the first responders that rushed over were calling it a cardiac arrest. They were unclear exactly what had happened, but he was found in the jacuzzi, and then it said it did appear that he had been, you know, that he had drowned. They said there were no drugs or anything at the scene and that there was no foul play involved. But, you know, of course, he was famous for the role Chandler Bing on the 96 sitcom.
Yeah, I just Googled for anybody who didn't know, because I didn't know what pickleball was. It looks a lot similar to tennis.
Yeah, and it's, from what I'm hearing, it's like something that's pretty popular now. Like, it's, I had never heard of it until just recently, and then it's funny, while I was working at Pepsi, actually, while I was working
We're going to
Pepsi,
bleep that out.
I was, right, I was, the radio, there was a guy on the radio that we would listen to, whatever station that was, that we were listening to every day, every night. It sure wasn't LRTV, but he would always be talking about it. The guy on the radio,
pickleball.
Yeah, so I guess it's like something that's become pretty popular. But yeah, they were, you know, that show Friends went for 10 seasons, and all together they did 234 episodes.
Wow.
So, you know, his character was one of the most popular, and it was very beloved. It was like a fan favorite. So
it's crazy. I would have thought they did way more than 10 seasons.
Me too. I thought I would have thought way more than that many episodes too.
Yeah, that's motivation. Because Van Gogh got about 100.
Man, Van Gogh. Shout out to Van Gogh. He's got a lot going on.
Yeah.
I mean, he stays busy. That's for sure.
Yeah, he definitely pours into himself.
Chandler also, I mean, not Chandler. His name was I'm sorry, I called him Chandler, but Matthew Perry. He also played in some movie roles. You know that I don't know if you've ever seen that movie Fools Rush In with Selma Hayek.
Oh, okay.
He played on there. He also played on The Whole 9 Yards, 3 to Tango, The Kid, 17 Again.
Speaking of celebrities, did you hear Sexy Red pregnant?
I did hear that. Yeah. So that's also happened in the recently.
Yeah.
And so have we found out if she's having a girl or a boy yet?
We have not found out, but I have heard rumor that she's pregnant by Drake.
Yeah, I've been seeing that rumor around, but I definitely think that's just a publicity stunt, because you know they got the song that came out together. You said you hope she is.
Yeah, I feel like that will hurt a lot of people's feelings who think girls can't get good men.
I think even just the rumor is hurting a lot of people's feelings. Like, you know, just the fact that
somebody's at home like, why her?
Yeah.
Why Sexy Red?
Oh,
it's just like, even if it wasn't Sexy Red, it still wouldn't be you. You know, people have to accept that. Like, people try to go get things to make them that, and you shouldn't have to go get it. You should have it. So Sexy Red can't do no wrong in my eyes. She like
I ain't mad at her. You know,
twerking
listen,
on
at
tour,
the end of the day, it's like
eating chicken wings.
I'm not
paid
even mad
for
at
it.
people who are out here like
Hustling.
getting to it like that, just being themselves. Like, you know, people are literally just living in their truths, and you can't be mad at people for living in their truth. You know, you just cannot.
When Cardi
but that's
B
also
was living in her truth. Everybody loved it. They accepted it. They didn't judge. They just was like obsessed.
I mean, she kind of started this whole wave of like, you know, kind of just being you and doing.
I wouldn't say that.
I mean, I feel like she had a lot to do with it, you know, like because she went on. You know, you got to think she like started as like an IG person, you know, like an IG girl that like got real popular, went viral on IG, and then because of that, that's how she got on Love and Hip Hop.
Oh, really?
And then from Love and then from Love and Hip Hop, she basically went and you know started taking her music really serious. But you got to think like if she wouldn't have like really took herself serious in her music and her career and took the bull by the horn when she had that moment, and let's say she would have just stayed on Love and Hip Hop like a lot of them stars, like she wouldn't have ended up at the you know plateau. You know, she wouldn't have ended up in the way she ended up. You know, but she really like took herself serious and took her music serious. And I remember when she decided to leave Love and Hip Hop, she did an interview where she flat out said like, I don't want people to remember me as this. Like I consider myself an artist. I take my music serious, and I want other people to take me serious and respect me as an artist, you know. And that's why she chose to leave Love and Hip Hop. And at the time, she was one of the highest, like she was probably one of the highest paid on that cast at that time.
I never watched the show that she was on.
Yeah, she was only on it a couple seasons.
I love Cardi B. She was touching on, I feel like sometimes they use her to just get stuff out there. Yeah. Because did you remember when she told everybody to vote for Biden?
Did she?
Yeah. She was like really deep into the election a couple years ago. And, you know, of course.
Now he's president.
Yeah. I was going to say, of course, you know, everybody listens to celebrities, so.
Yeah. So, you know, they definitely have the influence and the reach. So that's why it's important, you know, to really stand for something when you got a platform and got, you know, and probably that's why people are like so mad at people like Kershawn and Sexy Red. But at the end of the day, you can't be mad at them, and you got to understand they're young too. They're
and they
young,
regular people like us. You didn't want that for yourself,
right?
It's
and
just
at
like
the end
people
of the day,
be
they're
real
young,
life
haters
haters
too. Like you got to think these are young ladies that are in their early 20s.
Yeah,
you know, when they get 31, 32, and then 35 and 40, like they're gonna be totally different women. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, let these young girls live.
And then it's like, if you don't do that, that's why we see a lot of women 35, 40, 45. You know, we see them bent over twerking in a club because they wasn't acting like Sexy Red. Now they doing it.
Yeah. At 40.
Yeah, when you could have been doing it.
At 20. And at 20, you was judging. You was judging people then.
You was judging people because you was pregnant, raising kids,
or
trying to be a wife.
Yeah.
When you really should have been
living your life, being ratchet. But, you know,
now I sit and I watch them, I just be like, I remember them days. I don't be like, oh my God, turn, you know?
Right.
It's just kind of like.
It's like, oh, I remember the days. Yeah. For sure.
It don't make me want to go do it, though. It's like entertainment for me.
It makes me want to go do it sometimes. No.
It does make me speed a
little
bit.
They look like they're having a lot of fun.
Yeah. I do speed up a little bit when that Sexy Red on. But yeah, shout out to Cardi B, Sexy Red, SZA, all the female artists who are different.
I love SZA. She is so dope, and
she's so different.
Very underrated. I think people are now finally starting. I think people are just now really starting to give her the credit she deserves. Is what I'm saying. And it's sad because she's been out here for a minute doing her thing.
She got
and like I'll admit it,
and that really worked in her favor.
Oh man, is that what it is?
I think that's what it is. Like she does.
Her body is her body.
She looked beautiful.
Oh my God, her. See, I didn't know she wasn't always that thick.
Yeah, she used to be skinny, but the way my weight is, it could be natural or it could be.
Because y'all haven't been tuning in, but as soon as I get
stand up. Ow, is that an earthquake? Dang.
As soon as I stand up.
Period.
And get to twerking.
Ow, we about to go viral.
We gonna go.
Subscribe, LRTV Media.
No.
Look at her acting like Sexy Red. Like,
look at me. No, but I'm not. I don't want to be like Sexy Red, but but you know, we all have our Sexy Red moments. I think, like, let's be real. Like, let's be real as women and understand that, like, we all have moments where we
like that,
where we want to. You should let your hair down. It's okay to let your hair down every now and again. It's okay to twerk. It's okay to have a good time and have fun. That doesn't mean that you're not a good woman. It doesn't mean that you're not a good mother.
It doesn't mean God gonna be like, you can't get into heaven. I saw what you did that night at the Halloween party. It's not how it works.
That's not how it works. So, yeah, you know. Also, speaking of Sexy Red being pregnant, and speaking of, you know, young ratchet women, Chrisean, you know, we've been out.
She the ratchetest.
It's happened a minute ago. Like, this is kind of old news, but not really. But she did just recently have her baby, so congratulations to Chrisean. We're gonna talk about it because we haven't talked about it yet. So we're gonna talk about it.
We're gonna fast forward from the baby. Did you hear the diss song she made?
Yes. So
oh my God, I love that song with my boo.
Yeah. So she had the baby, and you know, her and Blueface obviously are not together. You know, we all know that Blueface is now proposed to the first baby mama.
Yeah.
And you know,
and she got a record label.
And she has the record label, the MILF.
He's such a gold digger. He an opportunist. Yeah.
But yeah, so he's now,
I didn't know she had a 1-year-old. They had a 1-year-old together.
That's what they have the 2 kids.
Yeah.
And that's my thing is like, okay, so where were you? Where was she at the whole time when
she was pregnant and when he was
so crazy? Like, you was just out here just with the next chick, like
getting her pregnant. Like, now you want me to be feeling special when you done gave her exactly the same thing you gave me.
And then it's like, and now you're proposing to her, like, and she's
now I got a record deal,
like, because of this girl's pregnant. Like,
no, that's that record deal. Because he would have proposed when she was pregnant. He wouldn't have waited till the baby got here, and then he keeps saying the only reason he marrying her because she never had sex with nobody else but him.
Like, oh, like. And so they was actually on an interview with Jason Lee, and Jason Lee asked her, like, so do you feel like you are you validated now, like, because you got the ring? Like, do you feel like it was all everything he put you through worth it? Like, and she said something to the extent of like, well, you know, it's not about me feeling like I'm validated or like it's worth it. She was like, but I mean, you know, like, at least I know now that I didn't go through that for nothing. She was like, because like at the end of the day, like that's whoever you're going to marry, whoever you're going to decide you want to spend your life with, she was like, you're going to go through shit with. She was like, so it's about who do you want to go through with. Now, I'll be honest with you. Her answer was real as fuck, and it was smart, and she made sense, because at the end of the day, if that's what you want for your life, now all women don't want to be married, but if you do want to be married, you do got to understand that, like.
But you don't got to go through all that shit.
Oh, definitely not. Like, that's just
even though people do go through it and it's just not publicized, because I went through, I mean, I don't have no kids,
saying. Like, most married people, like, you got to think couples who have went through, who are now, you know, in their older years, and they can say, I've been married 50 years. I can only imagine what they've been through. Yeah. But there was no social media. There was no, you know, so
everybody didn't know when you had a kid.
Even back then, people knew what goes on in this house stays in this house. They knew, like, back then, our parents and our grandparents were raised, you don't talk about nothing. You know, but obviously that wasn't necessarily a great thing, because that's why so many people ended up with mental health issues.
Yeah, like, people ended up getting raped, like, not saying nothing.
Getting molested by family members.
Now we don't say nothing.
Yeah,
we took it too deep.
Yeah, but we took it too. Now we're taking it too. Every generation is taking it further and further. That's
to the point where we're not telling no murders. We're not telling when people breaking cars. We're not telling nothing.
Yeah, it was. I mean, back. I feel like they didn't used to. You know, nowadays, like, everybody telling everything. You know what I'm saying? It's like every generation gets, you know, it's like becomes more transparent and open. Like they're becoming more free with their words and their speech, you know. So
we need to talk about this vape and weed epidemic these kids are going through.
Oh man, it is. It's crazy. It's
like,
crazy.
So many people have told me that I would say anywhere from the age 9 to 15. These kids are vaping.
Oh yeah, I'll be honest. Smoking. I mean, I'm a mom. I have a 17-year-old and I have an 11-year-old and I have a 3-year-old. Obviously, I don't have to worry about the 3-year-old right now, but I mean, actually, I really do, because the things that they're seeing now, they're starting at younger and younger ages. But my 11-year-old and my 17-year-old, if I'm honest, yes, I've caught them in situations with, you know, where they've already tried smoking. They've tried the vaping thing, and this is what's
I don't know
cool.
a kid who haven't tried it.
So it is. It's a dangerous thing. It's a I've
Lock
definitely
y'all
had to
stuff
discipline
up,
and
get
punish my kids.
safes, get bags that have lock codes on it. They do have child-proof bags.
Yeah.
But protect your stuff, because these kids being way higher than us.
Yeah, and especially like if you are someone who partakes in like goodies and you like your edibles and things like that. I mean, you definitely, even if it is medicinal and you're going to the dispensary and getting it, make sure you're keeping these things out of the reach of the kids and keeping it in a place where they can't get to it, because it appears like actual goodies and candy and goodies, and kids
who wouldn't want a monster cookie?
Who wouldn't want that? And then I know there was like a story about a kid who went to school with some gummies and like was giving them out to like other students, and didn't, either they did or didn't. Maybe they did. And
it's so many more like scenarios that happen that we don't know about, because if it's not Toledo Public, it don't have to get reported to the news. It's so many schools that they found gummies and edibles at, and I just be like, wow.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Yeah.
Probably all of them.
Yeah.
And so, it's getting crazy out here. We definitely need to, like you said, I agree, because I am a mom, and I'm trying to be very careful about, about that. But it's also kind of like it's because if you're honest with yourself as a parent, and I'm honest, I'm transparent, I'm gonna always be real, like I'm a smoking parent, right? So like, it's hard, because it's like, what do you say to your kid? Like, you can't be it's kind of hard to be a smoking parent and tell your kids, it's bad, you can't smoke, you know what I mean? So it's like, it literally has to kind of almost become a real lifestyle change, and you really have to be, you have to really be a non-smoker to be able to look your kid in the face and be like, yeah, don't smoke, it's not good for you. You know what I'm saying? Like, I mean, if you're honest, like, how can you be a smoker and then say, tell your kids don't smoke and expect them to really listen? Like, and now it's so accessible, it's so accessible. They can get it anywhere. And like you said, with the vaping is even worse than, smoking. So that's something that literally can kill them, and it's poisonous, but these kids, it's like the cool thing to do nowadays. So yeah, that's definitely something that parents have to be mindful of and definitely keep an eye on. So what else we can talk about?
Let's talk about the vote yes on issue 2.
Voting season.
Yes, it's coming up. Tiaja. What is it, November?
See, this is why I love having her as part of the show. Yes, voting is definitely, actually, there's an election coming up, and I know that I've been seeing a lot of signs for retaining Councilman John Hobbs. Shout out to Councilman John Hobbs. He was an old neighbor of mine, and I've known him for quite some time now. Him and his wife and his family, they're great people. He has a city council seat right now. He took over one of the city council seats when, the former city council members were, arrested on those charges and things like that. He took one of the seats, and so now it's the election for him to be able to retain that seat. So definitely want to showcase my love and support for John Hobbs. Us over here at LRTV, we definitely support Councilman John Hobbs, and we want you guys to get out there and make sure you vote. These local elections that are going on are very, very important. Obviously, we know that the major election is coming up next November. Well, this November. Look, I'm talking about next November. Yeah. No, it's like we're coming up on January.
2 days.
So going into next November. Well, I guess that is next November, because now this November isn't like the major national election, but November of 2024, which is next November, is when we'll be voting for like a new president and all of that. But it's still important now to get into your local elections and understand what's on the ballot, who's on the ballot, and why you should be voting for these different things. Like Tiaja said, there's issue 2. There's many different issues on the ballot. So it's important for you to do your research and go and research these different, the different legislations that are on the ballot. What do you want to vote for? Like, do you even know what to vote for right now? Like, when you walk in there, what the different issues are about, what, if you vote yes or no, how it's going to affect you in your community. you have to do your research. So not only vote, but definitely do your research on all of the issues. Make sure you know which issue is which, and you know why you should vote yes or no on it.
And early voting is open. You can vote. You was able to vote as soon as October 11th, and you can vote up until November 5th for early voting in Ohio, in Toledo. So we definitely need to I need you guys to vote yes on issue 2. That's a very big issue for me. That is to legalize marijuana stores. Just like legalize marijuana, period, to where if you drive, you can have over a certain amount with you. So we will not be going to jail for having weed on us. Our childs of our fathers won't be in jail for something so petty. We can make money off our businesses. We can sell legally. We will have more in taxes. We will need less medicine. It's a natural way. So we definitely need to vote yes on issue 2. Do you have anything you want to vote on?
I don't. To be honest, I need to do my research on a lot of these issues.
I think issue 1 is for abortions and women's rights. So
that was what I was just looking at just now. I definitely want to. I definitely need to get all of my facts and everything,
and go register to vote too
before I start speaking on it. We're gonna be giving you guys. Like, that's something I'm definitely going to look into. So I'm going to start looking into a lot of these issues that we have on the ballot so I can give concrete facts about the issues, why you should vote yes or no. Technically, you know, as a journalist, I'm not going to say, like, you should vote yes or you should vote no, but I will definitely give you guys both sides of it, you know, each issue, like which, you know, if you vote yes, this is what'll happen. If you vote no, this is what'll happen, and give you guys facts on the different issues, because I know a lot of people, you know, don't have the, you know, aren't going to go into it and actually take the time to do the research and come up with the facts. But that's why people like us are here, and that's why these platforms are here, so that we can dive into these issues and get the facts for you guys and get you the information. So I'm going to be doing my research on these issues, and we're going to talk more about voting in the coming episodes, but also just going back to that strike. That's why we definitely want some of you, some of the auto workers out there to reach out to us. You can inbox Tiaja Good on Facebook. You can also inbox me. You can also inbox us at LRTV Media on Facebook or IG, and let us know if you are open to coming in and telling us your story as an auto worker, about your career, about how you got into the industry, how long you've been in it, you know, how the former wages and things were affecting your life versus, you know, what the new contracts, how that will affect your life. We want to know. We want to really sit and unpack it. So those are two, you know, things that we definitely will continue to talk about and bring more concrete facts. But yeah, issue 2, like she said, with the recreational marijuana, that's definitely something that, you know, I feel like we both are in support of, because me personally, as someone who suffers from PTSD and bipolar, it's more beneficial for me to utilize medicinal, you know, use it for medicinal purposes than, say, taking an actual medication like, you know, an antidepressant or something like that. I've tried both ways. You know, I've went the medication route, and that affected me in a more negative way than, you know, what it did using medicinal marijuana. So, you know, I believe that, you know, at the end of the day, I have a license, you know what I'm saying? I do it medicinally, but at the end of the day, it should be something that people should be able to just go in and get, because then, like you said, for it's health reasons. It's people who,
like, I don't want to take 5 pills every day.
Exactly.
That's
a lot.
Almost 40 pills a week.
Yeah, that's crazy. And just think of all that medication that's going in your body and how it's affecting you.
And you know what pills do to your stomach, and you know that pills are not good for you.
Yeah.
You don't even know what it is. Like, how can you compact something so powerful with something so little?
Yeah. So, yeah, let's try to, definitely, we got to vote no on that.
Yeah.
Or yes? Huh? Are we voting no or yes?
We vote yes.
Okay, we're voting yes. So I'm like, are we supposed to vote no that... Yeah, no, we want to vote yes, that it becomes legalized. Yeah. So, yeah, I'm with it. I'm down. You down?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
I'm down.
So, y'all make sure y'all hit the polls.
You might see us there.
But, yeah, so, like, you were talking about issue 1.
Issue 2. Oh, issue 1 is for women rights, I believe. And then you gotta make sure you put state of Ohio because.
Yep, you're right. So issue 1 is over the right to the reproductive freedom with protections for health and safety. So
we need our rights.
Yeah, you know, basically just being able to have your right to be able to choose what to do, you know, with your reproductive system and your body. I mean, at the end of the day, like, no one should be able to tell you what to do with your body. Like, that's just, you know, so that is what issue 1 is about. So if those are two issues that you're very passionate about, that you want to be able to have a say in, you have to vote. Like, you know, go and vote, period. So issue 1 and issue 2 are two very important issues. Issue 1, again, is the right to reproductive freedom, and then issue 2 is the right to... How many
issues is it? We should talk about each issue one day on the show. Yeah, that's what I was just saying.
Like, we're going to do that. So we got to both do our homework and do our research so that we can bring our people the facts and know what we're talking about. So we are definitely going to dive into all the issues that are going to be on the ballot. But it's also important for our listeners to get out there and make sure you guys do your own research as well, because there's a lot of issues on the ballot, and the only way for us to be able to make a change is in these local
every
elections.
Vote count.
Yeah, so definitely make sure you guys get out and vote. I think that's pretty good. I think that was a good show for today.
I think this was a really good show. The question of the day: have you ever got fired? Me personally, never, ever. I only had 3 jobs, but I never been fired from none of them.
I've had a lot of jobs, and you know what's so crazy is that I've never really been fired. I'm the one always quitting jobs, and then they had the nerve to fire me.
They let you go.
Now I can honestly say I've
been fired. Don't fire me.
But you know what? Hey, we're gonna end the show with you know, good positive thoughts and you know, manifestations. And at the end of the day, I am a believer in Jesus, and I am a believer in God. I'm a child of God, and I understand that, you know, I have faith. You know, I have faith and understand that God is.
If you didn't have faith, we would not be recording ourselves right now.
Yeah, absolutely. I have faith in God, and I have faith in the promises that He's put upon my life. I know that, you know, where I'm going, and the thing is, I know that, you know, I know where I'm going, but what we have to understand is it's always a journey. We be thinking we're going somewhere and getting to a destination. You're never going to get to a destination.
Yeah,
it's
it never stops.
Journey. Yeah. And you have to understand that every part of the journey that you go on, whether it's a mountain or, you know, whether you're going along smooth road, like, it's a reason for that. God puts us in all positions. He brings people into our lives for a season, a reason, our lifetime. Same thing as experiences. Mm-hmm. We experience things for a season, reason, our lifetime. So it's important for us to learn what that person is in my reason. Why did that person come into my life for only a season? Learn something for it and move on, you know? But yeah, like, I lost the job, but for the point in time that I had the job.
That job lost you. You didn't lose no job. Yeah.
Thanks, girl.
Period.
And for that period of time while I worked there, it served its purpose. It, you know, it gave me the income to do the things that I needed to do at that point in time, and now we're moving on. And
I did like that job a little bit.
I liked that job. You liked that job?
Yeah, I liked that. It was a good job. It was good for you.
But that's all right. You know, God closes one door and He only opens another. So I know that, you know, there was a reason that
I don't like the way jobs make people think.
Yeah. It will program you, you know.
You was like, I'll have money Friday. I'm like, I never heard Leah talk like this.
But, you know, what I will say though is, on the flip side of it, like, it felt good knowing every single Friday I had that money coming. You know, like, it's scary as an entrepreneur to not know when your next dollar's coming, when your next sale is coming, that's having real faith, you know. But I was listening to Sarah Jakes Roberts this morning, and what she said in her sermon was, like, at the end of the day, like, that's when your real faith is tested and proven. You know, when you can blindly follow God and not really not knowing where He's leading you to, and not knowing where your next dollar is coming from, where your check is, but you're going to still obedient and still be obedient and go and do what He told you to do and do what He's called you to do. And what God has called me to do is have this platform and be a voice for my people, and, you know, be a light in this dark world. So I have to continue to step up every day and do what He's called me to do. And that's just that. And He's going to provide a way.
Amen.
And I believe it.
He
and
always
I received
does.
it.
Amen.
So those are our positive words for the day, and it ain't much else to say after that.
Really ain't.
So, that is the Real Lifestyle Show for today. We appreciate you guys tuning in. Make sure you guys tune back in on Wednesday. We will be back.
That's what Blue Ivy be doing.
What she be doing? Because I'm Blue Ivy.
Right.
So, yes, till next time.
Period. Damn, you might really be Blue Ivy.